Welcome to my UB Chef cook along. I'm about to get started cooking the weekly recipes very shortly. You should have your box, your lovely UB Chef box, all unpacked by now. It's really simple. You'll get your recipe booklet just like this, with everything colour coded, numbered, very simple. So familiarise yourself with the ingredients first of all. Get everything out ready, put some music on, nice glass of wine, and let's get cooking. First course is our weekly bake. Now we've got a lovely sourdough for you this week. This is flavoured with pumpkin and roasted sage just inside. And then look at that lovely sage butter. What you need to do with sage butter, take it out of a little compostable container there. We've got a lovely little piped noisette of butter. That goes all on the top. And then what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to let that sit there for about 10 minutes or so whilst that nicely softens down. And meanwhile, my bread is going in the oven 8 to 10 minutes. Cooking time is at the top of the recipe, 8 to 10 minutes, and we'll be back and serve it up. So out comes my sourdough out of the oven. Remember, I've heated it up in my paper. Just going to carefully unwrap that. Oh, look at that. Lovely little sourdough. All we need to do then, take a serrated knife, hand just on the top, let it cool down if you want, just for a minute or so, and then let's slice through. And you should get those lovely little flecks of that roasted squash going through the sourdough. I'll open it up so that you can see just shortly. Almost see, I'm keeping my hand nice and flat on the top, nice and safe. There we go. See that? See those lovely flecks of squash going all through there, really delicious. Let's just fan that out a little bit so we can see all the colour. Place that on the top. Whilst all that's happening, quick clean up of the board, get your butter. You don't want to have it under there too long, you don't have to do this, it's completely optional. But just give it a little flash, there we go, that's enough. Beautiful shine on the top. Tiny bit of salt, just a tiny bit. Love it when you get a little fleck of salt if you're eating the bread. And that is it. First course, weekly bake, sourdough with the pumpkin, sorry for squash going through it and the sage. And look at that, beautiful, vivid sage butter. Enjoy. Here we've got a lovely smoked haddock Scotch egg for you to start with. So your egg is all in there, it's got the mix around the outside, eggs in there. That's going to go in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes, so let's get that going in. Then my garnishes, look at this lovely vivid cucumber. That's in some nasturtium oil. Simply take the sachet, drop it into a pan of scalding water, lid on, 6 minutes, and it's all done. Left is our little garnish, which is our cucumber relish. Just in there, you see it's got mustard seeds, all sorts of things going through there, really nice. Make sure it's out on your worktop just to warm up. You want that lovely room temperature. And here we've got some nice peppery nasturtium leaves. Keep a little bit of moisture cloth on them just until you're ready to serve. But we'll be back in 10 minutes and we're going to put our super tasty Scotch egg together. Smoked haddock Scotch egg has just come out the oven. Let's get the cucumber. Cut your little sachet cucumber open into the dish. Look at that, vivid green. You've got all that nice nasturtium oil in there. What we're going to do, Scotch egg, sorry, we're just going to put that on the board. First of all, we're going to, little chefy tip that you can do here. Just take a serrated knife. You see, I'm just going to cut down. And I'm going to go the other way as well. Just like so. Be quite careful here, make sure you get that full cut out. Look at that. How about that little tip? So you can get the little wedge of egg just showing that Scotch egg all inside. Sort of a shame not to when it goes to the plate, onto the plate, like so. Then let's get our cucumber. I'm going to put that at the base. Keep the oil for the moment. Go to some of your little cucumber relish. I'm just going to turn that over lightly, just between 2 spoons, and sit that just in there. There we go. Of course, serve more relish on the table if you prefer. Then let's get some of our nasturtium little pieces. I'm going to put my little cut out wedge of Scotch egg on the side. And these little leaves, lovely and peppery, so get a few of them on there. We've sent you plenty, like so. And then back to this lovely nasturtium oil and just kind of trickle that around. You'll see it's Really, really vivid. Keep it all nice and central so that you have a really defined presentation. There you go. Another super dish, smoked out Scotch egg, 2 styles of cucumber and nasturtium. A really special starter for you coming up. This is a Ballotine of rabbit and lobster. Look at that. In there. So this has got our little eco film around the outside. Take it out, make sure it is out 10 to 12 minutes before you're going to serve it. You've got the little lobster tail going right away through the centre, sorry, and then it's all wrapped in Serrano ham. My other garnishes, got a little fritter misto there. So we've got a little Amalfi lemon, we've got the kohlrabi leaf as well. So kohlrabi remoulade just here, there's the leaf. Going to get that in the oven, about 4 to 5 minutes. In that goes. You just want it to be cooking just until it re-crisps up. So what we're going to do here, this Ballotine has just been out the fridge for about 10 minutes now, so ideally 10-15 minutes before you serve up. See, I'll just take that clean film off, that can go in the bin, because that's all eco. And then I'm going to put a little bit of rapeseed oil just on the top. Get a palette knife or a little spoon, back of a spoon, and just work that oil over the top and around, and then you'll get a lovely shine on top of that rabbit. Okay, a little bit of seasoning, tiny bit of Maldon salt, again completely optional. What I'm going to do is take my Ballotine and just sit that onto my plate. That'll sit there nice and happy now, just coming up, coming up to room temperature. That we're all ready to go. Then I've got my little dressing. This is a rabbit and lobster dressing. This needs to be warm, so I'm going to put that just on the edge of the stove just to start warming up. Get your remoulade. So remoulade is just basically a posh chefy word for a coleslaw. I'm just going to cut off the sides. And in there you see we've got some nice parsley going through there. We've got shallots, capers, gherkins. Get 2 spoons, ideally matching. I'm just going to get a little bit of that remoulade. You can empty it into a little pot if you prefer, so it's a bit easier. But I'm going to take a nice big lot of that remoulade and start to work it between the 2 spoons. So this isn't a quenelle where you kind of curl off like a smooth mousse. This one is done with 2 spoons to shape it. Keep going round. See how nice, smooth. Spend a bit of time, and then we're almost there. Like so. Okay, put your little remoulade onto your plate. There we go. I'll save that for my sandwich tomorrow. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for my crispy fritter misto of kohlrabi leaf to come out of the oven, and that Amalfi lemon, the dressing. We'll come back and finish dressing this up. So there's my fritter misto for the rabbit. That's just come out of the oven, and my dressing is just warm. You don't want to kind of boil that or anything like that, just warm it up, that's all it needs. Then what we'll do, let's get first of all one of our leaves. This is the kohlrabi leaf, and I'm going to rest that up against my remoulade, a little piece of lemon. Lemon frittered like this is absolutely beautiful. One more piece, you see how I'm getting some height there. Finally another bit of lemon leaning up. We don't need to add any more seasoning because that's already on top of the rabbit Ballotine. And a tiny bit, this is a roasted like rabbit stock with lobster oil going through it, and look at that. How about that? Restaurant starter in your own home. That's the Ballotine of rabbit lobster, kohlrabi remoulade, and that really nice warm dressing. Let's get cooking our vegetarian starter now. See there, we've got lovely linguine just in there. It's got some nutmeg on the top, beautiful spinach colour from the spinach puree we use. A little bit of butter in there. What you need to do with that, put it into your pan. So you get all of that linguine out, like so. And then per portion of pasta, add a couple of tablespoons of water, like so. Your king oyster mushroom, just been a little grilled and cooked. All that needs to go in the little bag. Put it into a pan of simmering water, put a cover on it, leave it for 4 to 5 minutes, absolutely fine. Then you've got some ciabatta croutons just in there. You can serve them room temperature, you can heat them back up in the oven, completely up to you. Let's get our pasta on the heat. So not too, just want a medium heat to bring it up to temperature. And then once that's up, we're going to cook it for a further 1 to 2 minutes, just tossing the pasta over. Let's then get our garlic cream. So this is where carbonara, there's no bacon in sight, but we're using all those other flavours, so garlic infused cream. I'm going to get that onto my stove, just to start heating up. Just bring the pasta up. See as it starts to come together, give it a toss. The butter will kind of nicely coat the pasta well. You don't want to overcook it. I'm going to give my croutons a very quick flash. Get them in. And whilst we're waiting for this all to come up to temperature, let's get a plate flashing under the grill. Just time for me to show you our finishing garnish. Strange looking thing, but that's a cured egg yolk. So we take a whole yolk, we cure it, salt and sugar, herbs and spices, and I've got a little grater ready to grate that yolk on there. So let's keep that to the side. Back to our pasta. If it's too lively, just turn it down a bit. At this stage, get a little fork, so I'm just moving that around. This is when the water and the butter will just emulsify together, making a nice little sauce. My cream's just coming up to temperature. Plate's all ready to go. It's almost ready. I'm going to add a tiny bit more water to that, just to finish off the cooking. A little check on my cream. Croutons out. There we go. They're all ready to go. Let's bring my cream over. It smells delicious with that lovely garlic coming off of there. Then heat off, bring your pasta over. I like to season it up a little bit more, so tiniest bit of molten salt. And there we go. So let's have a little taste. Really important. Check you're all happy. Yeah, delicious. So bring your pasta up. Take a nice portion. And then I'm going to get that onto my heated serving plate, like so. And then I'm going to spread that out. You can just use a little fork or something just to spread this out. Equally, if you want to turn it with a pasta fork to get like a turban effect, you're welcome to do that, but I really love it when it's spread out like this. So that's all good. Next up, let's get some of our cream going on to the top. And that's just the first bit. That's going to dress our pasta nicely. Then I'm going to grab my mushroom out. Let's get that. Let's bring that over. Just use a knife or a pair of scissors just to open up that little vacuum pack bag. As I say, this has all been char grilled, all ready for you to go. It's lovely and meaty. Again, a little bit of a season. Let's get that on the top. Let's get our croutons. As you can see, this is all carbonara coming together now. There we go. Lovely texture. More cream. And you see I'm serving it on a nice dark plate. Make the most of all those colours. A tiny bit of rapeseed, which will just split out the white cream. And then let's get our egg yolk. Nice little grater. And just grate away. Carefully with your fingers. And you see you get that lovely, this has got a real lovely little salty but rich taste that's going to go on the top of a little tap. Don't know about you, I'm ready to go and eat this beautiful spinach carbonara. Here we've got a lovely fillet hake for you now. It's got a lovely little crust on the top with herbs going through, so you've got really nice and beautiful green topping to it. Now, I've taken it out of my container, I've put it on a little square of UV Chef paper. This is the compostable grease proof. You get a sheet of this in the box. I'm going to grill mine to start with, just to get a little bit of colour. So let's get that under. That's going to be 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes under the grill, and then in the oven for 8 to 10. If you don't grill it, 12 to 14 minutes or so in the oven. Now, here I've got my saffron sauce. This is a saffron and mussel sauce made from a cooking liquor. I've got my mussels, they're all in there. As you can see, some root vegetables and there's some little soft herbs in there. So I've just gone back to my fillet of hake. I'm just keeping a close eye on that. I don't want it to over grill. Almost tiny bit of colour. Lovely. Let's get that in the oven. So in that goes, let's say 8 to 10 minutes. Right, back to our sauce. Sauce is going to go onto the heat when we're almost ready to serve up. Get your vegetables and mussels into the sauce. Keep it heating until it's all hot. And then here, crushed potatoes. So just take some nice baby potatoes. Get them all into your pan. They're already seasoned. A little bit of butter in there, a bit of oil, a nice selection of herbs and shallots. Get them with a little spoon onto your heat. And then just gently heat those up. They're not going to take long at all. And that's it. We're back in about 10 or so minutes where we're going to plate this beautiful hake up. So here comes my fillet of hake. Just going to grab my multitasking, there you go, grab my warm plate. So that's the hake, all nicely baked with crust on the top. And then we'll give it a final stir. Crushed potatoes, mussel sauce, that lovely saffron. Let's get our crushed potatoes. Make sure you've got that warm plate. Really, really nice to still eat right the way through the meal with everything being at a nice temperature. So there we go, little bed of crushed potatoes. Nice bit of texture in there. I say bed because I want to support the fish on the top. Just get your fish slice ready to take the get the hake on the top. Meanwhile, mussels, plenty of mussels here. We've taken them all out of the shell, so you haven't got to faff about. Let's get them all in. Dice of vegetables. You see I'm adding the vegetables and the mussels first, then I can always go back and add a little bit more mussels. I want the mussels nicely evenly distributed around the plate. And then more sauce. This is a really saucy dish, excuse the pun, but you want quite a bit going through there. Like so. Lovely. I put a little fleck of rapeseed oil, little droplets. Very pleasing to the eye. Then come back, fish slice, nice and careful. Let's just lift that fish off of there and sit that on the top. Simple as that. Lovely baked fillet of fish, crust on the top, mussels, saffron, really, really warming, lovely and autumnal. Rump of lamb is back on our main course, meat course. Really, really popular rump of lamb. We always put it on a barbecue, give it a lovely colour, then we slow cook it after that. What you want to do, take it out of the vacuum bag that it comes in, just cut it out carefully. Remember, it is already cooked. This is basically just a heating up process. Put it onto a tray lined with a paper, bit of rosemary in there, make sure it bakes with that. I'm going to rinse my hands quickly. Then I'm going to get that going in the oven. You want it to about 12 to 14 minutes. Now in that goes. Now I like my lamb nice and medium, nice and pink. If you want it a bit more well done, another 6 to 8 minutes in the oven. But the most important thing, rest the lamb 3 to 4 minutes ideally before you slice it. Onto our garnishes. Lentils, so we've got some lentils there with tapenade or an olive paste going through it. We've got char grilled aubergine, 3 styles of aubergine coming up. So char grilled, make sure you put the lid back on that, just loosely. Then we've got a baked aubergine. This is with masala, touch of tomato through there, some thyme, some rosemary. That needs to be baked without the lid. And then also a little aubergine caviar. Aubergine caviar, red pepper going through there. This, drop in a pan of water, scalding water, leave it on the side, and forget about that. These two, so the char grilled and the baked, about 12 minutes in the oven, 10 to 12 minutes. Let's get those going in. The reason why the lid is on the aubergine and not on the other is because we want one to almost steam a little bit so it's nice and not dried out, of course. And in the other we want to get a little bit of a reduction of the sauce, nice and sticky. Let's get a pan, get my lentils, scrape those out into my little copper pan here. You can microwave it if you prefer, no problem at all. They're just going to go onto the side of the stove ready to heat up, and of course lamb red wine sauce, and that's it. 10 or so minutes, I'll be back starting to get this lamb together. Alright, bring my lentils over. Lentils all heated up with that black olive tapenade, just goes through the middle of them. And then we've got lamb sauce, my lamb rump. See, that's nice and rested now. Let's just give that a little drain onto my board. And off we go with presentation. Aubergine confit, I've emptied it out into a little pan. Then we've got our other styles of aubergine. So that's my baked. Look at that lovely masala sauce. It's all nicely glazed on the top. Put that at the top. Then we're going to go with our little piece of aubergine. So this has just been char grilled. I'm just going to get that out of there. I'm just going to use a little fish slice just to help me get that out of there. Let's put that on next. Clean down as we go. Take some of your aubergine confit or marmalade. Just got that red pepper going through. Little quenelle. Lentils. I'm going to put a nice spoon of lentils just on the side there, and this is on which to sit my lamb rump on. So good little few of those. Right, lamb rump. You can see the grain of the meat. Again, a little tip going through the meat, so you can see how it goes that way. So that means I want to slice across the grain of the meat. So go nicely, nice slices. And that just makes everything even more tender. So what we want to do there, a little tester for me, I'm sure that will be. I'm going to take those slices, like so. I'm just going to put them on top of that piece, a little bit of seasoning. And lift that whole chunk of lamb up. You can smell the barbecue kind of aromas coming off of this now. Back to my red wine lamb sauce. Tiniest bit over the top. And around. There we go. Lamb, 3 stars of aubergine, lentils with olive tapenade, and that beautiful barbecued lamb rump to finish. Lovely vegetarian course. This is a cauliflower steak which has been charred on the top. We sous vide it and then we've also cooked it. What you need to do that, put it back in the water, in the pouch. There we go. About 10 or so minutes, and then when it comes out, onto a tray lined with paper, under the grill for a couple of minutes, or in the oven 3 to 4 minutes, just to give it a little bit of extra nice little glaze from the oven. Garnishes. This is going in the oven now as well. I'm just going to show you before it does. Little Israeli couscous. The Israeli couscous is it's like a larger grain. We've got some Romanesco cauliflower, purple cauliflower, also toasted almonds in there. Remember, any nut allergies, this is not suitable. That's going in the oven with a lid on. Same time as we're heating up cauliflower, 10 to 12 minutes. And meanwhile, I'll just show you the other garnishes that we'll be using when we come back. We've taken some beautiful pomegranate seeds, lovely colour, beautiful crunch. They're just going to be room temperature. In there you've got a cauliflower and almond dressing with some herbs. And then this nice warming spice, harissa spiced yogurt. Both of these, transfer these into a little pot so you can dress your plate. Make sure you've got a warm plate ready to plate up when we come back. See you shortly. Right, my cauliflower steak is under the grill now. I took it out of a little sous vide packet, put it on a tray. I'm just giving it a couple of minutes just to warm up on there, even further, lovely little glaze. I'm going to take my harissa yogurt. As I said, this has got a nice little warming spice, but I love the colour on it, so I'm just going a little bit abstract, as it were. There you go, have some fun with that. Serve extra yogurt on the table if you prefer. Keep an eye on your steak. Meanwhile, couscous. Now I want to take a nice little bed of this to sit the main cauliflower steak on. You see there's a lovely piece of romesco, toasted almonds. I pile a bit of that up in the centre, and then what I like to do is just add a few of those florets, and a little bit of the extra almonds and couscous just around the outside. You can hear my cauliflower steak all glazing away very nicely under the grill. So a little bit there, lots of interest going on. There we go. Right, let's go back to our steak. Grab it, cloth. Take the thyme off the top and the garlic, everything that we baked it with, a little bit of seasoning. Come over, sit it on the top. Very nice, feel clean. And then what we want to do is finish off. Cauliflower dressing. Just got some herbs going through there. Almonds as well. A little bit of that. And then your pomegranate seeds, I suggest put them on last. Little tap of the finger, a few on the top. You're making a painting now. There we go. Like so, tiny bit of rapeseed. That is a beautiful vegetarian course of roasted cauliflower steak. Got a lovely passion fruit and white chocolate cheesecake coming up now. Take the little piece of paper just off the top, use your hand, turn it out, back on the other hand, then you can peel it off. And then you've got your cheesecake all ready to lift out. Take the little slice of it, on we go. Simple as that. Little tip, take it over to the grill, or if you've got a blowtorch, give it a very quick pass just underneath that heat. Very, very quick though, then you get a beautiful shine on the top. Take your gel, so this is a passion fruit gel, and take your passion fruit seeds. I'm just going to cut the corners off of those. Piping bag, hold it at one end like so, and then you can just squeeze with one hand, use the other hand to guide it, and then you see nice few little piles of that really zippy passion fruit gel. There we go. White chocolate aero. See, I've just taken that out of my out of the freezer. Keep that in the freezer till last second. Passion fruit seeds. Just a few of them. And that's even more kind of that real fresh passion fruit kick. You want a good few of them on there. That go. White chocolate aero. If you want to cut it down a little bit, a few pieces. I say keep it in the freezer because then you get that lovely, almost like crispness of the white chocolate. And that is it. Straight to the table, so you still get the full effect of the aero. What a lovely dessert. Here's my chai tea panna cotta. I've had it out of the fridge for about 15 minutes, and if you have a look there, just have a look at that. The proper wobble all inside there. Really, really important because you don't want to eat your fridge cold because otherwise it'll be too firm and it's not just going to taste all those lovely spices in the chai tea. Get your tropical fruits, nice little spoons of that on the top. I want to create a real nice layer of this on there. You've got the rich panna cotta underneath and then all these lovely fruits. Get the colours nicely mixed up as well. You've got mango in there, you've got pawpaw, kiwi, all sorts going on. So that's all on the top. Then I'm going to get some of my Alfonso mango sauce. Just going to take a knife, cut off a little edge of the vacuum pouch, and then just simply just pour a little of that sauce. Alfonso mango is really lovely and rich, slightly different flavour. Pour some of that over the top, like so. Then you've got black cardamom meringues, nice and delicate. Let's just get those like little witches' hats sat on the top. That is it. Onto your serving plate. Simple dessert, stunning result, lovely panna cotta. Let's get our cheese course plated up to finish off the menu. Make sure you've had your cheeses out of room temperature, for about 15 minutes ideally or more before you are going to use them. take off the paper, and then let's get our chutney. This is just our house chutney, which is going to go lovely. We've got some quince in there as well, quince jelly, that lovely caramelised autumn chutney, all in there. Let's get that quick wipe, let's get that onto the plate, and then let's start arranging our cheeses. So you see with your cheese notes, you can arrange them in taste order. So we're starting off with our goat's cheese, then we carry around lovely piece of aged Comté, Telaggio, nice and creamy, that wash rinded longer, and let's just get our blue cheese, final bit of quince to finish off. That just leaves the crackers. So I've had these warming up. Again, you don't have to warm them up, completely up to you. Just took a little bit of the Uber Chef paper, just spread them out onto the onto there, and then quick as a flash, can make quite a nice change having that real lovely warm cracker to garnish them. You see I'm stacking those crackers up like so, and that's it. All ready to get your final cheese course to the table. Hope you enjoyed this week's cook along. All the dishes all plated up. Hope you have a great and fantastically tasty meal. We'll be back next week. Remember, it's last orders Sunday night as always for the menus. We've got Christmas, we've got New Year, all online now, and all need to be ordered fairly soon. They're going to be all sold out. Valentine's is actually on as well. I know it seems a long way away, but it'll be with us very soon. Hope you have a great week. See you very soon.